Hey everybody, this is Matthew from Coldwell Banker Elite, and I wanted to share a piece of software that seems to solve a lot of problems for a lot of folks. There seems to be, few passwords that we have to remember in this business, and it becomes a little hectic and a little crazy every once in a while. So I want to show you what I'm using for it. As much as I like the free stuff, it's not a free piece of software, but it's called 1Password, and you can actually get it at AgileBits. Let me see, I can move that in. Agilebits.com/1Password, or you can just Google 1Password and it'll take you right there. The software it syncs passwords for me. So, for example, I'm going to open up the software here, and I've done some training profiles so that so you don't see my actual passwords, but it comes up with a master password screen. I just logged in and typed in a password. In this case, I made a fairly complicated one for the purposes of the software because it's the master for all the stuff that I do. But 1Password has a couple different functions. The main one here, as you can see, I can set up my logins, and you can see here that I currently, as I started using the software, have to remember 233 passwords for web pages. Now, that's not the limit, that's just the ones that I bothered to record. So when I have this the software open, if I want to go to, for example, my Amazon account, I just click on Amazon and it's going to open up the web page, and I will already be logged in. You can see there I'm logged into my account, and it'll come up with my wish list or recommendations or whatever it is. So it logs me right in without having to remember to type anything. Now the other function here is that when I go to a web page to enter a password, and let's see if I can come up with a random one. Well, actually, I don't know which one to go to. But if I go to a web page to enter one, and it senses that the software senses I've never entered a password there before, it's actually going to ask me to remember my password and my username. So I'll just create an email account here and then log in with a bad password, hit OK, hit sign in. All right, and then it happened actually too fast, but there's a little drop-down window say you haven't logged in here before, and ask me if I want to save it as a new login. So it's very, very simple and very easy. But in addition to the web pages here, when you go to set up one, set up your username and your password, and it'll tell you your password. You can also have it create a password for you, and it'll save that information here. And if I ever want to log in and for some reason it won't log in immediately, or I need my password, I can just click copy. It'll copy the password. You can see the dots are here, so if there's someone looking over your shoulder, or like in my case, I'm doing this for a demo, no one will see what your password is unless you double click on it, and it'll show the password. I can make tags to remind me where to go, and I can search for different web pages or passwords. I can enter notes about it, like when I created it, what it's for. Is this for web page only? Can I auto submit my login? All that good stuff is here, and then I hit save. And again, you saw earlier, I just clicked on Amazon and went down. You can see I've got a lot of passwords to remember, and some of them I have multiple logins for certain web pages. I may have a personal account or a business account or something. So good way to keep track of them all here. Additionally, you can set up an account, and this is for accounts that aren't necessarily web pages. So this is a FTP account for my church website. Of course, you need to know the web page and all that to log in and that information, but I can save a bunch of stuff here just on the web pages and how I get in there with the login account. I have my Staples account here, or VPN information, things that aren't web pages, but you still need to remember account for information for, maybe to order stuff online, or by phone or whatnot. Identities, you can add all your family members here, or anybody that you do maybe some work for. This is the training one, of course. You put in their information, and you can add, again, for families or whomever you need to remember stuff for. Name, sex, date of birth, occupation, company, and down here we get into email addresses and how to get to their contact information. You can put their date of birth in here. You can put their security numbers, whatever you need to put in here to remember about that particular person. All right, secure notes. This is, of course, a made-up one, but this is just a yellow piece of paper where you just type in whatever you need to remember. So maybe somebody else's password, where you put your will at, or a combination for the safe. For example, my wife has the master password for the software so that she can log in and something happens and get all that information. And then one of my other favorite parts of this is password. Again, this is made up for the training purposes. But 1Password, every piece of software that I get has a serial number. And some of that has the serial number, when did you buy it, what's the name you registered under, what's the email address you registered under, what company did you register, where can you get it, who published it, how much did you pay for it. All that stuff is stuff you can add in here so you can remember where the serial numbers are for all that software and things that you buy for your computer. And then lastly here is the wallet. This is again a fake one, but all my credit cards are here, all my insurance information, my rewards cards, for Best Buy and AAA and all that. You can set it up in here and tell you this is a made-up Visa card from a fake bank with my information. But you can put even more in there. What's the phone number if you lose the card? It makes it a lot easier if I'm going to do some online shopping. Instead of going up and getting my wallet or finding it, I can just log in here and get this. And then you can save all of these different things under different categories. So maybe this is just personal. My web page could be personal. I can just click there and it'll have whatever I've made personal in the past. And then also it syncs. It syncs with my iPhone and my iPad. So in my case of my iPad, I'm going to show you here what happens. I'm using Dropbox to actually sync this secured file. So actually let me just pull this up for 1 second. All right, so here's my iPad, and I can go in there and find the iPad software, or 1Password software. All right, there it is. I'm going to open up the app. There's a password here. It's the same password. I'm actually going to take this off the screen so you can't see my password. All right. And then bring it back over here and you can see that it's synced with all the changes I've made. And it does it through Dropbox. So it does it wirelessly. I don't have to log in. I don't have to copy anything. And all my different apps and things are right here on the iPad, and the iPhone looks just the same. So that way I can always be with my contact information, my credit card information, my passport ID, whatever it is. I can put all that information on the one Dropbox, or 1Password rather, and sync it through Dropbox. So anyway, I have found this to be an incredibly useful tool. I use it every day, all day long. It is currently $50 for the software for the Mac, and let's see, it's $50 for the software for the Windows. And then there are iPhone and iPad apps, which are $15. And I believe I don't see a Droid app here, but nonetheless, there is plenty of ways to connect to it, keep that information current and easy to find and use, and keep you from pulling your hair out trying to find information. So anyways, that's 1Password. I think it's a great tool for realtors to use because we do have to remember so many things, and just making sure you create a super complicated password so that no one will guess what it is and get to the rest of your stuff. But it's much safer than little notebooks that some people keep or written down in your wallet or any checkbook or wherever. So it's a good tool. I hope you enjoy it, and see you around.